Netherlands and Ecuador meet in a battle for top spot in Group A. Netherlands' opening win against Senegal was a first appearance at a major tournament for captain Virgil van Dijk, but there was an even more impressive milestone for goalkeeper Andries Noppert. The 28-year-old became just the second Dutchman and the first since 1978 to make his international debut in a World Cup match.
Het is ingedaald.
It has sunk in, but you don't really get the time to enjoy it. Here, we have another match to play, so now we have to focus on that. But after such a match in my debut, I deserve to feel happy for a bit. And I am. But on the other hand, it's also quite easy for me to focus on the next match.
bit stronger in terms of heading the ball away. By Van Dijk, of course. Ake, despite his somewhat diminutive stature for a centre-back, is a good head of the football, has a great spring. If the Netherlands win, they will qualify for the round of 16 after Senegal's 3-1 victory over hosts Qatar earlier today. 3-1 the score. Boulaye Dia, Famara Diédhiou and Amadou Dieng on the score sheet for the another free kick here, goes against Bergwijn. Now, one of the tests for a side that's been impressive in qualification for the World Cup and not conceded a goal for so many hours as Ecuador hadn't, is that when you do go behind, just how patient are you in order to continue to build your play. Worth underlining again that this isn't a system that Ecuador play. They did a lot of their matches in qualifying, and it was almost exclusively a back four. The coach has focused in on tonight's opposition and feels this is the best way to go. He must have worked on it, no doubt. The players, I would imagine, have had time to get tuned to this way of playing. Perhaps in the last 10 or so days. As you said, not in qualifying. I'd be amazed if he just sprung it on the players since he won the opening game against Qatar. It's a trip on Dumfries. Well, what a wonderful goal from Gakpo. We can look at the connected ball data here in real time, the speed and spin rate. Is travelling, and not too many rotations of the football are there. I mean, that's always a sign of a pretty pure strike when the ball almost seems to move flatly through the air, if you like. This is Coke Miners. Valencia. Valencia is going to be eased out of the picture there. Comfortable defending for Timber.
Ran into a cul-de-sac, didn't he? Didn't really have many options inside and decided not to jump back inside and look for support.
Frankie de Jong. De Jong. Bergwijn. just established a degree of control with that early goal now, Netherlands. Feel as if they're already into the business of managing the game. Here's their interesting goalkeeper, Andres Noppert, the tallest player at these World Cup finals, at 6'8", given a surprise debut in the opening game and playing the 52nd game of his career tonight at the age of 28. 52nd senior game. He didn't even have a club 18 months ago, and now he's playing in the World Cup finals.
It's a remarkable story, isn't it? It really is.
His wife tried to persuade him to join the police force 18 months ago. He'd have been a copper to respect, that's for sure, at that height. Okay, to Klaassen. Dumfries.
Starting position's really high on this right-hand side, Dumfries. A lot higher than it was the previous game. Which tactically might be a good thing. Forcing Estepinian all the way back, where he doesn't want to be.
Something a measure of how confident a team playing with the back three are, where their wing backs are.
100%. That was a big change in the Germany-Japan game. Great substitutions for Japan, and their wide men, I felt, won them a game when they come on late on, pushed high up the pitch.
And Dumfries' score in the first two games of last year's European finals. He has that threat when he arrives in the box. Taking the throw here. Gakpo. He's run this throw. It's a slightly different role playing up there. I say slightly different. I guess it can be very different in so much you're playing far more of the game with your back to goal than in what will probably be his preferred position, just off a striker.
Absolutely. But it's interesting to note, and as I say, I've been watching them with Klaassen, the two of them switched. They've obviously, Depay's the one that will stay further up the field more. The other two will rotate.
Memphis Depay, if he's just joined, is not fit enough to start, but likely to be given 45 minutes this evening if things are going well for Netherlands.
He's a big player for them, no doubt about it. What did you see with the chat? Was it many got 40? Is it 42 he's got?
He's been scoring a goal a game in the last 20 internationals. 21. Last 21 goals in the last 21 internationals for Memphis Depay. 42 in 82 in total. Next question.
Great answer. Didn't expect anything else.
Perizzo. Strada. It's a little tentative coming forward so far, Ecuador. They've been shaken by that early goal, and here goes Denzel Dumfries. Took three of them to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought he might have been a little unlucky not to get a free kick there, I know. Just the ball played off him. He's getting pulled a little bit. Yeah, look at that. The left arm, his right arm's getting pulled back. Free kick for me there, Clive. I know Bergwijn was on the left-hand side as well, making a good attack.
The story goes that he was named after Denzel Washington.
Is that factually correct, or is it just a nice story, do we know?
Maybe his dad had the look of him. He was born in, the mid-1990s, Dumfries.
There he is,
Pelican Brief, Philadelphia time. I mean, is there a cooler player name at these World Cup finals than Denzel Dumfries?
No.
Axel Witsel?
Oh, that one's not too bad. It's just the man we saw in the picture there, Memphis Depay. It's not too shabby a name.
Canadians have got a goalkeeper, Dane Sinclair. But Denzel Dumfries is pretty cool. And it gets Scotland a mention at these World Cup finals.
Here's Estrada. That is a foul.
The only kind of little problem that we might have with the Dutch scoring so early is the fact now they're content just to sit a little bit and wait for Ecuador to come at them, which they have to do, but not immediately after losing the goal. So it's maybe just taking the sting out of the game a little bit, which clearly will suit the Dutch.
Well, they're pretty accomplished at doing just that.
You look at that right there, it looks like a front three from the Dutch there. Say Bergwijn, Klaassen and Gakpo on the right.
Yeah, split strikers with a number 10, Klaassen, operating just behind them. Well, Ake has followed Estrada to run up to the halfway line. It's a feature of a back three, back five.
Yeah.
Disappointing response to the goal so far.
Yeah, that's a poor ball. No real threat at all at this moment in time.
Blind.
Good run.
Bergwijn. Allowed to turn and run at Torres, so he's got runners inside of him. Blind outside of him.
Yeah, good movement there from Bergwijn.
Players gathering for Ecuador in the penalty area. Doesn't reach Valencia. Half-hearted appeal for handball. Certainly don't think it was. The referee was in close attention. Well, that's beautifully worked by Ecuador. They're in behind Dumfries here. But staying calm was Van Dijk.
Well, that was a good chance, overrun by Moses Caicedo. That's a heavy touch. Allows De Jong to come in. He wasn't fully committed to the challenge. Stayed on his feet. Caicedo really should have got the crosser in the 6-yard box, looking for a teammate.
And that's brought the noise from the Ecuador fans. Estupinian with the throw. And they work it easily into space. Estrada, Estupinian. Excellent cross! Well, that was a peach of a delivery. Mendes to Torres. Ecuador confidence growing.
Well, they couldn't have wanted for a better cross. Michael Estrada's really got to be challenging Virgil van Dijk, who held his ground. In the end, it was a comfortable header away. They're swarming up, the Ecuadorians. I mean, there was some of their part on it. There's no individual brilliance. They've not been, you can't look at their squad and say they are two truly outstanding players.
Estrada. Feeling the challenge here from Timber. There wasn't
This is a great touch. Just to send it a little wide in the angle. Make it difficult for Ake. Yeah, Van Dijk. Forward by Caicedo. It's got too much purchase on it. Well, they were delighted with the 4th place in CONMEBOL qualifying. They were 8th in South America. Before they do so again, and this is Enner Valencia. Oh, lovely flick from Estrada. This is Preciado, corner. Swift in movement and greater tempo all round, with or without the ball. Ecuador with the opening corner of the match. He's been given a talking to. No holding, please. I'd imagine the words. Torres. Mendes. Stupinian well forward again. Couple of nudges there. Stupinian got away with the first, but Estrada didn't with the second. Cody Gakpo, only the second player to score in his first 2 World Cup appearances for the Netherlands after Memphis Depay back in 2014. That's good play from De Jong. Almost got through to Gakpo. All a bit untidy. Who's going to emerge with possession? It's the Netherlands. Class. De Jong. Blind. Safety first from Nkapie. Netherlands have their opening corner.
breaking the lines again here, the Netherlands. Stupinian making a good run. He's playing in the number 9 role at the moment. This is Valencia wide. Lieutenant Valencia! Fine save from Noppert. I fancy that was creeping in. It was. That is a good save. Andries Noppert just moving to his left. And with that huge frame. Going down pretty quickly, actually. Nice play from Valencia. Top draw from the Herenveen keeper. It's Stupinian with the corner. There's enough to feed the belief here for Ecuador that they can go toe-to-toe with the Dutch. They've scored with their only attempt this half, the Netherlands. And the coach will be very pleased, not only with Gakpo's goal, but the clinical nature of his team so far at this World Cup. They have found the net with the high percentage of those on target. Yeah, the volume of chances is not the important thing, is it, at this level? The efficiency, of course, all that counts. I mean, I'd love to see his side creating 5 or 6 chances a half against everybody. The truth, that's not going to happen. The better opponents give you more problems in many ways defensively, but on the other hand, they also give you more opportunities as an offensive unit because they're more willing to expose themselves, knowing that they can create chances and accept that they will defend with quality and equal measure. Lovely reception of the ball there by Bergwijn under pressure. This is Dumfries. And the steal in behind was Gakpo. His figures at the moment, by the way, are quite remarkable. Cody Gakpo, he's now been directly involved in 34 goals in 28 appearances for club and country this season. 16 goals, 18 assists. No wonder that, with due respect to PSV Eindhoven, the best clubs around Europe are keeping very close tabs on him. Yes, for quite a while now. And I hear of those stats. I'm sure they're pretty up to speed as to exactly what he's been doing. PSV probably don't like that broadcast too much, to be honest. No, apologies if your allegiance lies with them. Unless the fee is right, of course. And they've always been really a selling club, PSV. Produced so many bright young things, as we see all around the Netherlands. Here's Stupinian. Goalkeeper commits, and that's comfortable for Noppert. Yes, even without Noppert coming out from 10 yards outside that 6-yard area, should be quite comfortable for Van Dijk and Nathan Ake. Here's Valencia. Well, as I was mentioning a moment ago, there's enough to encourage Ecuador. Where principally do you think, do they need to keep doing what they're doing, or do you see an element of play that they might just make the Dutch more uncomfortable?
They've loaded this left side because Denzel Dumfries does like to get forward. There's always that gap that opens up much more quickly. A little bit more defensively minded on the far side with Daley Blind, but they don't really have. Or not had the quality of penetration, and it's hard to get past Denzel Dumfries to begin with. I mean, he's got to leave so much space and find himself or make it much more difficult for him to recover 15 or 20 yards. They said, they don't have that real quality spark at the moment. Ecuador have not been able to find it. Remaining patient, that's the key, and accepting that they've had a good spell. They've not been able to get themselves back on level terms. Keep playing their football and don't panic. I said that individually so far, it's not been Valencia. Of course, we know he's a goal scorer. He's already tested the goalkeeper. They're losing that battle in the middle of the park, which is to be expected. They don't have the ball retention skills of Frankie de Jong in particular.
Caicedo and de Jong having a lengthy discussion about what we've just seen. Started every game in qualifying. Frankie de Jong is fixture in the Van Gaal midfield. Well, we made a lot of Ecuador's defensive record in that long run without the ball going in the back of their net. Now beyond 5 hours since the Dutch have last conceded.
That was a good tackle from Piero Capier. Not to get that, it was 2 against 1.
Cope Miners. This is Plata. Caicedo. Mendes. A little slow in possession there, Ecuador. It's a foul given against Hincapié. Piero Hincapié plays in Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. It's second season in the Bundesliga. Made quite an impact since he came into the international side. The centre-back, only 20.
That's risky with Nathan Ake travelling so far forward and Van Dijk as the solo defender. Really went wrong for the Dutch.
De Jong.
It's the undoing of Germany in the second half against Japan a few days ago.
Klaassen.
Relied largely on your quickest defender to repel most of the attacks, and then they got caught out. The Dutch could suffer a similar fate.
Here's Stupinian. Torres. Inside the last 5 minutes then of the first half, plus of course any time to be added on.
And 40 minutes has actually flown by. One of the problems actually for Ecuador is that they're playing the wing-back system, so there's so much reliance on two guys out on the flanks, Stupinian and Preciado. You don't need to give them that width, and they are reluctant to actually stretch the play to make the pitch very wide. As soon as they lose the ball, then defensively they have to get back in and help out as the defensive unit. So the width on the counter is not a natural thing for the South American side right now. Valencia doesn't really like to drift out too often to this left. He likes to be a more central player.
Enner Valencia. Interested on
The goal now officially timed at 5 minutes and 2 seconds, the quickest goal in the World Cup so far. The Ecuador protests continue here to our Algerian referee, but at the Khalifa International Stadium at the break in Group A, Netherlands 1, Ecuador 0.
My goodness. And they were congratulating each other as they came off, the officials.
My argument all along, Richard, would be if the original shot that comes in doesn't hit anybody, doesn't get deflected again by a Ecuadorian player, I'm not quite sure who it was, Sully, but if it doesn't get deflected, then you could say he's offside because he's right in front of the goalkeeper. That shot, you could see the goalkeeper's dive for it. But what I'm saying to you is, there's another, what you would call, it's not a shot, it's a deflection, but it is a shot. So that attempt from the Ecuadorian,
you don't touch it.
You cannot then give offside, because I don't think it hit the person who was offside. So if it goes past him, the goalkeeper's gone for the first one, there's another Ecuadorian stuck in that corner, he's not interfering with the goalkeeper, his ability to save that second shot. He's not.
David Villa and Christopher Sullivan, the former US international, are with us. We'll get their thoughts in just a moment, but that's another big call. And I think Ecuador have done enough to be of the opinion they should be on level terms. Stunning start for the Dutch. Smashing goal. But I think Ecuador can feel hard done by. We'll discuss more in just a moment.
Football unites the world.
La paixão and peace.
And enjoy.
El fútbol une a todos.
Imagine you scored the goal of the year.
Can you dream bigger?
Now imagine it's remade by Caddy.
In the city of the future? And Neymar is there.
No problem.
Amazing! Bigger!
Millions will come. Whoa!
And imagine we're winning the hearts of the whole world.
Dream bigger with QNB.
The game's not over yet.
We have everything to change this game. We have the will, the desire for better, the heart, and the inspiration. When we stand united for sustainability, we can still win this game. We have the people. Goal of the century.
follows in, Nathan Ake isn't. That's what strikers are all about.
It's just human nature. It's so much easier to follow one in when you've got a chance of scoring than when you've got a chance of clearing. Only the great defenders can find the mindset to go with the same appetite that the forward has.
But that just summed it up. Absolutely summed
on his right knee at the end of Monday's game. But Enner Valencia got fit for tonight and he got into a goal-scoring position and he has taken the chance, and Ecuador, denied by a flag just before half-time, score just after. Klaassen to Depay. I think Blint might just have run offside.
Yeah, but he could have given him it earlier, Clive. That's what Blint would say. But it's amazing, the goal scorer there. Sharp as attack. I'll be honest, when he came off in the previous game against the host nation, I thought he might have been struggling a little bit with that injury. Fair play. He's got himself some treatment, a bit of rest.
And at this moment in time, he is the leading goal scorer at these World Cup finals with 3.
What about unlucky not to 4?
He had that goal disallowed by VAR fractions just 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the World Cup. But he notched a couple before this tournament was half an hour old, and he's added to his tally tonight. Former Premier League goal scorer, West Ham and Everton amongst his collection 6-7 years ago. It was Sam Allardyce who took him to Upton Park after the World Cup in 2014. Capio managed to get up there. Look at that from Jackson Mendes. His opinion can't quite escape. Never quite happened for him in his 3 years in England. He was in the same West Ham attack as Andy Carroll and Diafra Sakho. He was loaned to Everton when Romelu Lukaku was scoring freely for Ronald Koeman at Goodison. Finally moved on to Mexican football. But now in his 3rd season in Turkey, 33-year-old Enner Valencia.
You talk about certain teams having key players, key figures, talisman. It's safe to say he might be Ecuador's.
The Netherlands have got theirs on the field now in Memphis Depay. Let's see if he can reply. Ecuador's all-time leading goal scorer against the Netherlands' second highest leading goal scorer. He's actually joint second with Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. But the match is level. That's the important thing. Gakpo looking for a corner. Goal kick given.
Yeah, he's not happy. You will see it. Lovely strike as well, low and hard.
I agree about the save too, because it was almost past not bending. It's a long way down when you're 6 feet 8, and he had to scoot that almost from behind his heel, and he just needed some fortune then, but it fell to a blue rather than an orange shirt.
Yeah, you're right. It was a big, strong hand. I've got that down as an excellent save, and he's just looking for, as you say, a little bit of luck, or indeed one of his centre backs to be a little bit sharper. Wasn't the case.
But you can make a case for saying Ecuador deserved that.
Yeah, you can actually. Certainly for...
listening. For Qatar and Senegal, matchday 2 provides both with a chance to play catch-up as they look to make an impression on Group A. It is an opportunity to get their first points on the board.
It's working. Stupinian, what an athlete he is. Constant menace when he makes those runs down the left flank. And once again, a pretty good delivery. On the volley, I mean, this guy, the appreciation of what's required for a teammate, even on a run like that, was impressive. Nobody could keep up with him. Preciado. Good challenge from Poroso. Sticking tight to Depay. Minus. He and De Jong trying to get control of that midfield area now. A little bit second best in this second half. Klassen trying to poke it forward for the on-rushing Depay. Van Dijk reading that well up against the thrust of Estrada. Here's Valencia. He's going to have to go it alone here. Tries to cut back, finds Estrada. Just couldn't get any purchase in the shot under pressure from Ake. And that was a telling factor. Miss kick in the end, wasn't it, from Mikel Estrada? I guess Stupinian was taken out in the play. He wanted a free kick. If he played advantage, even if he thought it was a foul. This tempo certainly suits Ecuador right now. It's not all out attack. They've also been very clever and they've not been, bringing up that defensive line too high and allowing the Dutch to play, but seizing those opportunities. There we go, and it's not a perfect pass to steal the ball. Well, since the Netherlands took the lead in the 6th minute, Ecuador have had the next 11 attempts of either team in the match, 3 of them on target. Not many teams, certainly since Van Gaal came back for a third spell, have done that to his team. I'm not flattered by that Valencia equaliser. No shape or form. It's almost as if the Dutch are looking to establish a different tempo to the match here now, just finding some time on the ball, settling themselves mentally.
It's a preferred one, isn't it? Patience. Slow, medium, but they do need a little bit of quick in their game, and Klassen has been denied that opportunity to get beyond the back line because there's been a big gap between the...
A good ball from Klassen.
Tough, a little bit close. Just wasn't able to adjust his feet. Tim Cook minus. Yeah, they've allowed the gap between the middle of the park and the defensive line and said, well, if you're going to make that run, anybody from the Dutch midfield, it's going to be a long one, and we can see it coming a long way. Now more condensed midfield and defensive line for Ecuador. That gives that little bit more chance for the Dutch to get through. Looking a little bit glum, aren't they, right now, the supporters of the Netherlands? Yeah, there was a look of concern amongst the Dutch fans. They're not used to seeing their side not create the usual glut of chances. Drums are still beating, but not quite as loud and as rhythmically as earlier. Almost under duress, it seems. There was a considerable body of opinion when people were assessing Ecuador going into this World Cup. Kept coming up time and time again. It's a young squad. Is it going to be 2026 before they fully mature? But now you almost get the feeling that we're here now, we're going to be competitive. Put anybody up against us. Nobody's going to roll us over. Yes, okay. And again, wanting to be due respect to Qatar. You know, it was a pretty comfortable opening group stage win. This is their first major challenge, and they're rising to it. Yeah, win, lose or draw, they'll get a good idea of where they are as a nation, as a collective unit.
Still the controlled possession for both teams.
Will Louis van Gaal look to change things up? Talks about how Ecuador have decided whether to stick or twist and to try and win this game, take the pressure slightly off their last game against Senegal. Likewise to the Dutch, not going to leave things to chance.
Strada looking for Plata.
The danger about thinking you've got the weakest in the group, the last of the group stage, that you take your eye off the ball for the remaining 20 or so minutes in this match, and the substitutions, they could sometimes be attacking ones, but if the mindset is not quite there from the players on the field and the message doesn't come across from the coaching staff, then you will not get the right results. At this stage, it's more to do with what's in the mind as opposed to the legs. There's no extra time today.
Steven Berghuis is coming on for the Netherlands to replace Davy Klaassen, a straight swap in midfield. It was Klaassen who took Berghuis's starting place from the opening group match after scoring the man going off against Senegal. Berghuis, a favourite of Van Gaal's for his good left foot, plays for Ajax. It's a controlling presence, generally speaking, when he's out there in those midfield areas. Inventive.
Yeah, different type of player completely to David Klaassen. He's had more control on the football, and that's an area that they've been outworked in. He's not a worker in that regard, like Moses Caicedo or Edson Mendes. Another one who specialises in ball control and manipulation. So Van Gaal sticking to principles and looking to completely wrest control and perhaps tire Ecuador out in the middle of the park by starving them of the football.
th minute in Doha, Group A of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. Cody Gakpo scoring for the Dutch. Enner Valencia for Ecuador. Both goals coming in the early minutes of each half. Sometimes it's the only way of stopping Pervis Estupiñán. Van Dijk. Berghaus. Ball out. Billy Bin's best attempts, but was driven quickly at him by Berghaus. Ecuador willing to turn to their bench for the first time in the game. That's Jeremy Sarmiento, one of 3 players from English Premier League club Brighton and Hove Albion in the Ecuador squad at this World Cup. Came off the bench in the opening group stage win against Qatar. Let's look again at the equaliser for Ecuador, set up by Estupiñán. High-tech, semi-automatic offside decisions used at this World Cup, artificial intelligence, software to track players, and a special sensor in the ball aimed to speed up decisions. And he was clearly onside on the touch off the goalkeeper. And that sensor in the ball, by the way, is providing data at 500 frames per second, 10 times faster than current technology. Ball played through that Ecuador defence, flag stays down! But eventually it's up.
He was only 5 yards offside. He was almost embarrassed to actually follow through. Was that Cody Gakpo? He thought, well, okay, the flag's not gone up. I've not heard a whistle. Why not? Yeah, that's a good line of held.
Well, there has been an edict that when it's that clear, Ecuador would have liked possibly to have seen the flag a little earlier. It's not good for the old heart when they believe that the Dutch are going to have a chance to retake the lead. So here comes Sarmiento replacing Michael Estrada,
who nearly put his nation 2-1 up with a thunderous strike off the crossbar of Andries Noppert. He put in a good shift with Estrada, quite get enough around the penalty box.
top scorer in qualifying for Ecuador, the man who's just left us. Sarmiento will play just off end of the. I think the Dutch are getting a little bit frustrated here now, finding Ecuador hard to break down. Think tank, a little word be sending Edgar on. He'd love to get on, of course. Yeah, he's barking out instructions to Memphis Depay. The football is one way to stretch this Ecuadorian midfield. Gonzalo Plata is now playing as the second striker alongside Valencia. Sarmiento's gone in to that left-sided attacking midfield role that Plata was deployed in earlier. Balance stays the same for Ecuador. Why would it just side Plata just supporting Enner Valencia? Confident in the fact that the two wide players can get back pretty quickly. Now they've switched to a back five. Cristiano is covering any runs that Memphis Depay may make. Mendes stole that well.
Carrasco's put in quite a few timely challenges in his second half. Any sloppy touches or misplaced passes, he seized upon by him.
If this game does end in a draw, it would mean the final 2 games in Group A would be everything riding on it to determine who will be in the top 2 places and advance to the round of 16. The winner of Group A will play the runner-up in Group B. And that is the England, Iran, Wales and USA group. Of course, the runner-up in Group A will play the winner of Group A. Only once have Ecuador been beyond the group stage. There are 3 previous appearances at the final. Torres. Looking for Valencia. There's that man, Stupinian again. Whirling dervish, isn't he? The double substitution for the Netherlands. So Cody Gakpo is coming off to be replaced by Wout Weghorst and Toon Koopmeiners. He's making way as well, along with Gakpo and Weghorst and Martin de Roon are the players who bring fresh legs to the Dutch course. I think we can expect at any given opportunity the Dutch putting some high balls into the Ecuador box for the arrival of Weghorst. May go a little more direct. Estupinian wins a corner. What a game he's had. Lost in admiration for his performance.
Yes, as much determination and graft, and also more graft than almost anybody on the football pitch, and a direct assist for the goal. Can take the goalkeeper out of it, can't we? Felt like Estupinian was the man who set up the equaliser. And he will take the corner. Preciado just lurking outside the penalty area for anything that might come his way. And here he is. Well, that would have been right out of the top drawer if he'd put that into the back of the net. In order to feed up Weghorst, the Dutch certainly have to get into the final third. It can't just be aimless balls in or driving from 30, 40 yards away. You know how to find it tough, not actually winning the first ball, but getting enough kind of quality to be able to serve his teammates. Torres and Porozzo in particular will make it difficult for him. The one who just hang around on the far post is about Weghorst. He runs across defenders pretty well. They will also get them at the near post if the delivery is good. Unfamiliar system, really, the three centre-backs. I suppose the obvious way of looking at it is it's being able to push Estupiñán as a genuine left wing-back. Not that he doesn't get forward from a... He's got the better of that contest, hasn't he, against Denzel Dumfries, I have to say, this evening. Yeah, I think they've managed it pretty well. Of course, you've got two good athletes on either side of control you have in the middle of the park. And in truth, they didn't have much in the first half. So it was more of a defensive remit he had. No, and I think you talk about control in the middle of the park. We've seen very little of Frankie de Jong, who was getting on the ball in the opening 20 minutes a lot for the Dutch, but been on the periphery since. You don't need too much possession. You just have to have ball steals. I'm sure we'll get a start on that later in the game, and indeed after. And of course, getting behind those Dutch defensive lines, that's what it's all about. And that's going to run out of play harmlessly. As far as Ecuador are concerned, anytime as Antonio Valencia, seasoned former Ecuadorian international. Adrenaline's pumping there. Wondering what might yet be to come. There's Enner Valencia. No relation, by the way. Been in good form as the top scorer in Turkey at the moment with Fenerbahce. Yeah. He's not a pure goal scorer. He's very much a top-class shadow striker, as the Dutch like to call them in their country. The guy will certainly get you a decent amount of goals, but the work rate is there, the quality, the appreciation, understanding of another striker alongside him. 38 goals in 76 caps. It's not entirely shabby, is it? It's better than that. It's outstanding. It's a new role for him, actually, being, in recent years, been a central striker, but I think he's thrived on it. Sometimes adapted wide players, as they get older, they appreciate the role of a frontline striker. Ball given away for Mendes. Estupiñán. This time he can't get the better of Dumfries. '85th minute. It's Nathan Ake for the Netherlands. Caicedo with a clumsy challenge. Lucky to escape without a yellow card. Mustafa Gobal has been very generous there. Well, this scoreline is not good news for the hosts, because if this match does end in a draw, Qatar are out. The first team, the hosts, will be out of the World Cup tonight. Depay and Berghuis. Depay walks away. It'll be Berghuis's left foot. There's nowhere near enough height on that. Well, you're best off overhitting that set piece. Much less likely you'd be caught on the counter-attack. Those shallow deliveries from there are dangerous. You as an attacking side, all of a sudden you're on the back foot. Nathan Ake. Ecuador with a player down. Valencia, captain. I didn't see what happened. Well, remember, he injured his knee in the opening group stage match. That win over Qatar that we're playing on at the moment. It's not a head injury. Referee doesn't have to stop the game, of course. I'm sure Galindez will get this out of play. The referee may stop it before the goalkeeper releases. Both players haven't done anything wrong. That's his teammates are not happy. Alfaro having something to say to our fourth official down there from Honduras, Said Martinez. One or two of the players having a disagreement. It looks like it's his knee that's been attended to. Remember, we saw him with a nice pack around his knee, Enner Valencia, when he picked up that injury in that game against Qatar. So, two new faces will be on in a moment for Ecuador, as you saw there. Romario Ibarra, who started the game against Qatar. And the other man coming on, Kevin Rodriguez, who also came off the bench in that game. He's had a remarkable rise lately, Rodriguez. He plays in the second tier in Ecuador. Now a World Cup player. It's something of a story for him. It'll be only his third cap. And Ibarra plays in Mexico with Pachuca. 4 appearances in qualifying for the striker. He'll be the replacement, one suspects, for the stricken Valencia. Well, what a start it was for the Netherlands. The quickest goal in the World Cup so far. Brilliant strike from Cody Gakpo. Yeah, that one almost starts outside the post, doesn't it? As I said, it wasn't too much angle on Pervis Estupinian, and the goalkeeper is not able to push it wide. It took a wicked bounce just before him, close to his body, and Valencia snaps up the pieces. Well, this is a worry for Coach Alfaro, with the captain being taken off on a stretcher, with the match looming against Senegal. It's going to be a crucial one. Will he be fit? Yeah, not a good look at all, is it? Dorim, 3 goals here in Qatar for Enner Valencia. There's going to be an anxious wait to see a minimum of 6 additional minutes. Gingerly. Looks like a recurrence of the problem he had